Hey, we'd like to open Mahoning County Commissioners meeting number 47, Thursday, December 7th, 2023. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Everybody doing? These people here. Got a picture up over there. Let's see. When you leave, they erase you. They just take you off the wall, they erase you.
Wait a
Take you
minute.
off the wall, they erase
Who
you.
are those?
Who are those? What do you mean?
Is that us?
Those are the most, there was a contest and they were the most handsome and beautiful women in Austin town. And they
Wait.
gathered them all.
Now we
Picture of
take the
them.
platform now.
They took a picture of them and
Remodeling.
they were celebrating them on the,
Wait a minute. Did you bring us a picture of the Austin Town people?
It was on our wall when we were remodeling and taking some pictures down, and we don't want to get rid of it.
So you decided to give it to us?
Well, yeah, I contacted Dave to see if he still
Are
wanted it or
you
not.
in it?
of course I am.
Where are you?
The dart lead.
Well,
You
Carol.
can't recognize
I
You know-
can't see from here.
Yeah,
I mean,
hair
it's
in that
it's
picture.
50 feet across the room, maybe you can look at it later, but yeah.
Did he
And the funny-
autograph it and send it
The
back?
funny thing is that there was like two people missing, Mike Dockery and Rich Edwards, and they like superimposed them on the corners, so I don't know who did that. They did a good job on
Oh,
it.
so those aren't them.
Yeah,
Put them in.
Yeah, that was, I don't remember the year, but they took a picture of everyone that had been elected in Austin town
That's
up to that point that was still alive. And now, I think Mike Antonoff was passed. Can't remember who else, but. All right, well, good morning. I'd like to open our meeting. With public comments. If anyone has any public comments they'd like to address the board with, please come up to the podium, state your name and address, and give you 3 minutes. Okay, all right, seeing none, we will move on to approval of previous minutes of board meeting number 46 from Thursday, November 30th, 2023, and approval of bills for payment. Do I have a motion?
So moved?
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Journal entries.
Motion approved journal entry number 1.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Okay, travels, auditors.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay, so we have 3 items on here. We'll start out with item A. This is for the Newtown County Auditors Association of Ohio Conference, American Payroll Training, GFOA, Real Estate Workshop, Needs Measures Association, Department of Agriculture, and so forth. And that's for estimated 12,000 of both general and non-general funding. Item B for the auditors as well. This is for data. This is to attend time reviews, training, GIS events, Ohio training, Microsoft training, and so forth. And that is estimated at $6,000 general fund. And the last is for GIS auditors. That's for GIS training and meetings, county engineers conferences, user training forums, and other travel within Ohio and Pennsylvania. Estimated at $6,000 non-general.
Make sure you send Ralph to that one to Pennsylvania. Let's go back there and straighten them out. All right, clerk of courts.
Good morning,
Ah, there you
everyone.
are.
How are you?
Look at
It's a request
that.
for travel in year 2024 from the clerk of court's office from the state of Ohio to attend conferences, meetings, training, and seminar. Estimated amount $12,000 and it's non-general.
All right, Scott, thank you. County courts.
Morning.
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 This is letter E for the judges to attend meetings, seminars, educational, CLE, JLE, access to justice. As required by the Supreme Court between the state of Ohio. For 2024, $8,000 non-general. probation. Letter F is probation department attend various classes as required by revised code in the state of Ohio. 2024, $4,000 non-general. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hazmat. Let's see, anybody?
Jimmy.
Okay. Very well, Jim.
This is attend state mandated training conferences. They're all conducted with non-general fund expenditures.
Thank you, Jim. Jobs and Family, Audrey.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Audrey Holly. Good morning, Jim Fortunata. Letter H, Job and Family Service to attend Canton District meetings, fiscal meetings, ODJF SA conferences, OCDA meetings and conferences, fiscal seminars, attorney networking, HR seminars, APS training, CLEs for the year of 2024, estimated at 10,000 non-general. Thank you.
Okay, Audrey, thank you. All right, motion to approve travels.
Motion to approve travels, letters A through H.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. All right, agreements, auditors.
Good morning again. Okay, so this is to amend a consulting agreement with the PR Consulting LLC, which helps out with our county IT network services. And this is basically no change in the amount of funding, but we are changing from a monthly payment to an as-needed payment for this company.
Okay, thank you. Engineers, right.
Good morning, everyone. B is an agreement with Fighter Freightliner Youngstown for repairs to our vehicle number 59. It's in an estimated amount of $3,128.23. C is an agreement with Commercial Truck and Trailer for repairs to our vehicle number 78. That's in an estimated amount of $1,128.10. It's both not general.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Lead-based.
Good morning, Commissioners. D is an agreement with American Pinnacle Construction for lead hazard control and healthy homes work at 917 Leiden in the amount of $31,400 non-general. E is an agreement with Gary Krim Inc. for chip home repair work at 487 Tenney in Camel in the amount of $12,060. F is an agreement with Avon Builds LLC for chip home repair work at 19 Creed Circle in Camel in the amount of $12,530. And G is an agreement with Avon Builds Construction LLC as well for chip rehab work at 581 Coatesville Road in Camel in the amount of $41,343, all non-general.
Okay, thank you, Phil. Sheriff's Department.
Hi, good morning. This is an agreement with Canfield Township, 3 deputies, provide police services in the unincorporated area of the township. 3 years in the amount of $325,000 for the first year payable to Mahoning County.
Thank you, John. Agreements.
Motion to approve agreements, letters A through H.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Resolutions.
Motion to approve resolutions, number 1 addition.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes. Is that number right?
Yes.
Take that, you're gonna have to cut that in half or something.
It is.
That is
So,
cut in half.
Yeah,
I will explain.
okay, resolutions. Oh, yeah, maybe we'll have to like put A to the side and come back to it till they hang my picture back up.
Forgot about it. They don't want you now.
Say that again.
It's already on camera, right? It's already on camera. You don't have to redo it, Too funny. All right, go ahead, Audrey. We'll let you take A.
Item A is a resolution approving an amendment in expenditures with the following agency as funded by the American Rescue Plan Act, and this is for Austintown Township. This is an amendment to the first agreement. The first agreement had the culvert replacements in it, and so an addition request was for a street sweeper. And so that's where we get to the 624. It's the combination of both agreements together. But today is that amendment adding the street sweeper to the township.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you want the,
Yeah, and B, resolution approving the 2024.
Jen, I'll get-
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, go ahead, Jen. We'll let you. I forgot this.
Commissioner Ditzler was saying B is a resolution approving the 2024 Criminal and Administrative Justice Fund. That's appropriations in the amount of 39 million. And C is resolution approving the 2024 General Fund in the amount of 44,125,000.
Thank you very much.
And then item D is a resolution approving the First Amendment to the second agreement with Direction Home of Eastern Ohio, Inc. for the management of renewal of levy funds. And this is their assistance with the commissioners in the Healthy Aging Grant. And so they will be working with the commissioners for the distribution and allocation of those funds.
Absolutely. Thank you. JJC OMB grants.
Good morning, Commissioners. E is a resolution in support of the competitive reclaim Category 1 grant application to the Ohio Department of Youth Services in the amount of $75,000 per year over a 2-year period with no cash match. F is a resolution in support of the competitive reclaim Category 2 grant application to the Ohio Department of Youth Services in the amount of $75,000 per year over a 2-year period with no cash match. And G is a resolution in support of the competitive reclaim Category 3 grant application to the Ohio Department of Youth Services in the amount of $125,000 per year over a 2-year period with no cash match.
Yay. Thank you. Jobs and Family.
Okay, good morning. Letter H, Job and Family Services Resolution approving the unpaid leave of absence for one employee of our department. Thanks.
Prosecutors.
Mark.
Mark, you want to do that one? Jim?
Not get yourself in trouble.
Okay, this is the resolution authorizing appointment of outside counsel. It's an amount not to exceed $25,000. It's pursuant to ORC 309.9, 05.14, and Attorney Matthew G. Vansuck and McDonald. Sorry about that name.
No. Okay. Jim?
Okay, good morning, everyone. This resolution is to adopt ORC resolutions pertaining to competitive bidding threshold. The threshold is being increased from $50,000 to $75,000 for emergencies, from $100,000 to $125,000 for construction, for change orders, engineers' estimates from 10% to 20%, and getting back to the threshold for each calendar year thereafter. The amount for the previous calendar year may be increased 3% as determined and published by the Director of Commerce. The purchasing manual will be out there on one site in the web. We'll be getting information out as soon as possible. I have with me today, they're way in the back, Megan and Joy from purchasing. They're very instrumental in helping this manual be revised. They will continue to get information out to you. And in the near future, we will have an in-service to answer any questions. So this is going to save a lot of procedures where in today's economy, it's not a fit to limit it to the 50,000, especially since the pandemic and the supply chain. The cost for everyone going out trying to meet that path criteria isn't worth all the factor of labor and expense. So thank you.
Thank you for all the work, Jim. You
Yeah.
and your staff. My God.
Megan and Joy. They did all the work.
And also the prosecutor's office. We
Yeah.
work really with them.
Jeff Murphy, as well as the prosecutor's office. Jeff, as soon as we'd say something, within us 5 minutes, he'd come right back. And it was a good relationship updating the manual and getting it here today.
It's nice somebody that he'd been here 10 years earlier in GIS, for 10 years in GIS. Got his
Yes.
law degree, came back and yeah.
But Mark's here. Mark did a lot.
I know,
too.
Mark
Yeah.
just looking at you right
So-
here. I was here for
That's
a
right.
while.
That's right. Hey, you know what?
We had a good mentor to follow.
Look right there. The day you're gone, they forget you. They took your picture down a week ago, so Took that long.
Actually, it is down. We're painting, so.
So before we get to the resolutions, you know, we're glad to see the Austintown Township trustees here. Monica Devers, Bruce Sheppis, and Robert Santos, and the administrator, Mark Diapolito, our former prosecutor.
Sanitary.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay, you want to do the sanitary before we do that? Okay, I forgot. Sanitary resolution. Rick, you gonna do that or?
I'm here today.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Erica.
Letter K, sanitary. Resolution approving the appointments of 2 treatment plant aides, 1 sewer jet worker, and 1 facilities maintenance worker for the department.
Okay, thank you. All right, now before we pass it, we'll go back to what I started to say is we have the trustees here and you know, it's always something we're happy to be able to participate with and help with. And, you know, as we're coming to the end of 24, you know, all the allocations of the funding from the ARPA funds, you know, we were blessed to have over 40 million, 41 and some change. 44 and some change for the ARPA funds to be able to distribute across the whole county to different programs, entities, and, you know, and we've been blessed to be able to help food banks, people, small businesses, infrastructure, to be able to expand different programs and projects and to help local communities that on their own don't have the ability to catch up. And I can attest to, especially Austintown, having that need because, you know, you don't always have discretionary funds to be able to allocate over $500,000, especially when you need sewer jets and you need street sweepers and you need those types of programs. The continual depletion of budgets, you know, to local government has never ceased to decimate local government, you know, between, you know, the local government funds, tangible personal property, inheritance tax, cat tax. We can go on and on and on and on, you know, and a lot of them did good things for other entities, but they still took away from the local budgets of local government. You know, I think the county is at about a $20 million a year deficit that we lost the revenue stream coming into the county. And I know local government fund has hurt so many different places. And we like to make sure that we acknowledge and advertise for and publicly announce so many different entities that have come to us, nonprofits. You should all be able to go out and see the Foster's Therapeutic Farm out there and see how they bring disabled children in and give them opportunities to do things that every kid should have the ability to do as well as adults. To be able to go out to the campus of care and see 14 different private industries or private businesses that have been enhanced and the people that have been hired and the people that have been served. You know, so when we make a big deal out of giving money, not only to nonprofits and local communities, it's to celebrate them and acknowledge what they've accomplished and what they've done and what they are doing for their community. And I know that there's probably a list a mile long on the drawing board. Austintown's needed a new township hall for 50 years, you know, and there's a list of things on the drawing board that every community has. And Anthony, Carol, and I, and all of our countywide staff are blessed to be able to provide some of the relief for the communities locally, you know, that are in those situations. I mean, we were just over to Struthers and sitting on their sewer jet, you know, it was a monster, you know, and the street sweeper and the things that are
He was gonna
necessary.
go work, we're gonna send him down with cats or cows.
You know what? I'm in.
Right on.
But Anthony, he's the
Boston
CDL guy, so I wanted him to drive, so he's.
He could drive and he could run whatever
he's the
they
truck
do
guy.
in the back.
Although
there
they
back then.
let me use that great big, that great big
You can
earth
find me
mover
down here.
and Boardman to rip down the elementary school. I got to pull the first wall down on the elementary school.
Climbed up on a rope.
I'm telling you, I couldn't believe it was over my head to get into it. and there was no stairway to climb up into the machine. And I said, how do I get in? And the guy reaches around and he pulls this big rope around that's got knots on it, like every 2 feet. And I had to literally, I felt like I had to be Tarzan to get inside the thing, so, but, it was.
And that was another
rewarding.
project, Dave, that we helped with the
Yeah.
flooding in Boardman.
Right, that was $1 million that we put into ABC
Yep.
to alleviate the flooding in Portland.
So that was
So-
2 large townships in Mahoning County that we've helped. We've also helped the largest city, and that's Youngstown. Even though Youngstown received their own money, we've also helped with projects in Youngstown
Yeah.
with nonprofits.
So, and
We're
when-
covering everybody.
And it's also good to have Mark Diapolito, the administrator
Yes, he
for
knows.
Austintown here, because being the former assistant prosecutor here in Mahoning County, he was the one that worked closest with the commissioners to try and make sure all these things made it through the filter and were legal and were applicable to be funded through the project that ARPA had established and put out. So before we pass the resolutions, why don't we acknowledge our township trustees and administrator? Yeah, I think that's. Yeah.
It goes back that way.
We'll go this way.
Since I'm holding you.
Well, actually, the third trustee is Mike Dockery and, Mark, but,
I was trying to get Audrey to come over here, but.
Audrey?
This morning.
I always look straight ahead.
Well, you do first, and then we'll let other
Okay.
people. Go ahead.
Okay, now we have. All right, Dr. Jeffries.
One more.
Austintown, Ohio.
Yes.
One went straight on his way.
Works across the street. I said I was coming down. I didn't know he was coming.
Where's he work, Carol?
And
Congratulations,
Dan.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Anybody like to speak on that?
I'm sorry about
Would you
that.
like to say something on behalf of?
Okay, you said you wanted to.
No, it's up to you. You're the chairwoman.
No, go ahead.
So, I guess I want to say thank you to the commissioners. Obviously, this is obviously a two-parter, assistance. The first one, thanks to the trustees, I was able to spearhead to get, I think it was like $348,000 for some stormwater projects. So we actually worked really hard for that, and that definitely helped out the residents. The second portion of this, we really can't take full credit for this. Obviously with our okay, there was our new administrator, Mark Diapolito, that he actually spearheaded the second project, which, as Dave mentioned, with him being the prosecutor, he was able to see this end of what we can and cannot use the funds for. So being a new administrator, he came in and saw some deficiencies that we were actually trying to work on. And with his knowledge he had on this end, he was able to coordinate an effort with the commissioners and Audrey to get this extra money so we can get a street sweeper. The current one we have now, the amount of time it takes us to clean a road, a new or even a decent one could have hit 3, 4, even 5 roads. So this is greatly going to increase obviously labor, the efficiency we have, and we actually can take care of our township. On a side note, Mr. Ditso unfortunately is not going to be able to benefit from it because he's from a county road and our street sweeper can't clean the county road. But if you drive down our township roads, you'll see it'll be a lot more cleaner, so.
Well.
And then our mechanics.
Let me correct you there, trustee Santos. About 10 years ago, and they took, and all county roads that intersect and go to a dead end are turned over to township responsibility. So from Turner Road west on New Road is township road. So the township,
More you know.
they back down that hill and salt it every time it gets icy. And so I live on the township portion of New Road.
When's our next meeting?
And we didn't have any choice because Janetti just dumps them onto you because he has the authority to.
I'm sure our mechanics are gonna really love that we have a new street sweeper. The street sweeper was in the mechanics working on there more than it was out on the street. So we really appreciate that. We really
Thank
do.
you.
And being the new guy, I'm extremely grateful to have an Austintown resident as a county commissioner. And this great panel, the three of them are phenomenal to deal with and to communicate with. So even though we had somewhat of a rapport prior to me winning the election, moving forward, I'm extremely excited and thankful for all of you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. We appreciate you.
And Monica owns Charlie's Restaurant. She brought us some goodies. And Bruce Shepis has the bounce, Austintown bounce. He should have
Brought a
brought.
bounce outside.
It's outside. We're all gonna bounce around outside in front of the courthouse.
That makes some great pictures.
Mark, what did you bring?
No,
I just want to thank
No,
you guys.
he drove.
I drove.
He brought us. I brought a picture.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, trustees. Thank you, commissioners. It's been a pleasure working with both boards over the years and, our great collaboration will hopefully bring great things for the county and Austintown moving forward. Thank you, guys.
It's, and I could say this. It's a plus for them to have you as the mediator here to see what could be done and what can't, because you've been on both sides of that. So you guys are lucky.
You did a great hire.
Yes, you did. You did a great
question
hire.
about it.
So I'm gonna keep you straight, legal.
We'll take them back anytime.
No. Well, we might have to fight.
I'm willing.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We don't know if someone keep it or whether you're throwing it away like me.
We'll hang it up. We'll hang it up where your picture was, Mr. Nick.
There you go.
Hey, down there.
Is that
what they're on there?
And if they get it for recycle.
We finished.
Yeah, that's what I've got presentation.
Go ahead.
Okay, so now we would ask for a motion to approve resolutions.
Motion to approve resolutions, letters A through K.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Diarra
yes.
Commissioner Trafficani,
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes. Okay, before we.
Before we go any further, what a pain in the. Can't say it on camera. We have an aged board. I'm not gonna say all of us. One of us. Do you want to stand up and get recognized since it's your birthday?
I am standing.
Today's Dave Ditzler's birthday. We want to wish him a happy birthday, many, many more.
So it's not true that I was born in 1941, even though it's Pearl Harbor Day.
But it's good working with you. Let's stay healthy. And that's the most important part. Let's keep our health and our family, and that's what you do, you and Jenny and your friends. So God bless you on your
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you, I appreciate
And I'll slap you more now that you're a little bit older.
it. Yeah. It's funny because, I remember when I turned 33,
Oh,
I-
God. When was
I had
that?
a lot more hair and a lot longer beard, so and my sister was always very religious and she said, Jesus was 33. What are you trying to do? Grow the hair to. So I said that, well, I'm blessed for every day after the age of 33 that I live, because if Jesus only lived at 33, and I get the opportunity to be blessed to live longer, then, what a blessing it is. So today I'm double what I thought that was at 66. So
My, really?
Yeah, it's hard to believe, hard to believe.
He's
I
almost
say I
catching up-
was
he's
born.
almost catching up to me.
I always tell my wife I was born in the greatest year, 1957, for cars, for Chevys. And I said, before I die, I want a 1957 Chevy. I said, I want a 1976 Trans Am because that was the year I graduated high school and I loved Trans Ams back then. And then she says, well, you have two old cars. They're both 1969s. Why do you have those? And I said, the summer of love. Everybody wants a car from the best muscle year and from the summer of love. So I have two cars and I'm missing two. I told her I have two more that I need to get before I die. So anyway, but thank you. Thank you. I'm very blessed to work with so many good people, to have an opportunity to serve Mahoning County and Austintown for the time I have and hope to. It's been extremely rewarding because on a board of three, as everyone can attest to, that, you have to work together, and your differences are political, they're communities, they're different in every aspect, but when the day you walk in and you're elected to serve the people you represent, that's what you do, because in county government, local government, there shouldn't be any Ds and Rs because, working on flooding for 20 years in Austintown, nobody ever came to me and said, are you a Democrat or Republican? They came and said, can you help fix our problem? And that's what we work towards. We all get labeled and categorized just because of national issues, state issues. But in county and local government, all we do is serve the people and our community and our neighbors. Because every day you walk down the street, people come up to you to call you. Anthony called me yesterday and said, I'm out to dinner. Somebody needs the new director of Children's Services Board, because they have an issue, so that's what you do. You put yourself in that position. I'm sure Monica, I went into Charlie's restaurant and there was 5 people waiting to talk to Monica, so it never ends. And that's
Part of the job.
that's part of what we ask for, because that's what we like to interact with people. We like to try and help. So when a lot of false information comes out there right now, I want to take 5 minutes and give you a little bit of information. We are currently going through public hearings on the sales tax. There's only one sales tax in Mahoning County that comes up for renewal, and that's the justice tax. We just passed the budget for it today, 39 million. And I can tell you that the 39 million that funds the sheriff, the prosecutor, 911, and the coroner, that $39 million, 82% of it that keeps the jail open comes from sales tax, 0.75% that we vote on. And for people to blatantly talk about unnecessary taxes and imposing taxes, well, this board presents to the community opportunities to vote on whatever the need that exists within the community. A year ago, all the township trustees came to us, 14 of them, and said, we need help with the roads. The county engineer doesn't have the budget to do the roads. We put to the people a 0.25% sales tax that brought about $10 million a year back to the county to do roads on a 5-year limited basis. The only tax left, Mahoning County has 1.5% of the 7.5, 1.5. 0.75% justice, 0.5% is the general fund, which funds everything else in county government. Common police courts, county courts, recorder, auditor, treasurer, commissioners, everything else. The 0.5%. And then the 0.25% that was just voted on for additional roads. So that's 1.5%. And of that 1.5%, the 88 counties in Mahoning County, the green ones highlighted are the 52 that have 1.5%, just like Mahoning County. Right now, 5.750 of the 7.5 the state collects. The state imposed, the state collects. So when you look what you get as a bang for your buck, 1.5% to run all county government is a bargain every day of the week. Especially the only renewal that comes up is the sheriff's department. So to try and reduce taxes or sales tax, I'd like to reduce it. I'd like the state to cut that 5.750 down to about 3 and give us 1% back to the county to do roads every year. Give us 1% back to, for the needs of the county. Give part of it back to the local government, townships, cities, villages, communities. Return money to the local government fund. But when we have the process the first and most important responsibility that the county commissioners have is to fund the operations of the county government to serve the people who live in Mahoning County. And we present the need to you. It goes to the ballot, people vote. We've never imposed a tax. That's why we refuse to impose a license plate tax. Because when the state legislature pushed it down to local government and said, oh, let the 3 county commissioners impose a $5 license plate fee on the people to help pave the roads. That's their responsibility, is to fund the county engineer to take care of the roads. The state legislature pushing it down to local government, that's not how it works. So we took the opportunity to put the vote to the people with the 0.25% to raise more money and help more communities. So those are the things that are doing it. And I'll tell you what, the most important thing that we have to vote on next year is for the 0.75% renewal that we will have the last public hearing on tonight at McMahon Hall in Canfield to show the need. The prosecutor will be there, the sheriff will be there to talk about the need. And when I say the need, to not have this tax, believe me, 82% of 39 million. I don't know what that comes out to. Where's Jen? Come on, Jen. You're the new OB office. Come on. What's that number? 82%. So yeah, so over 31, how do you replace 31 million a year?
31,667,000.
It's mandatory that we keep a jail.
Yeah, and that's the jail that
That's the
serves the
law.
whole county. So, that's the most important thing that's happening in an election year. It's not politicians. It's nothing but, when I see, when I work in government and when I work, whether part-time or full-time, I see blue and red every day. But my blue and red has nothing to do with Democrats and Republicans. It's the police and the fire. And that's what blue and red should stand for in every local government, police and fire. Because we have gone to every extreme to make sure that this board has been inclusive. We created the justice tax so everybody knew where their money went. The first thing that we used to hear all the time was, we're doing a general fund sales tax. Where's the money go? How do we know? So we came up with the idea, just like a township, a road levy, a police levy, a fire levy, to make it specific. So this is a justice sales tax. It keeps Sheriff Green and the prosecutor, the coroner, and 911. I was in Austin town when there was no 911. We didn't have one. And I remember it like it was yesterday because I came home and my father was in a coma and I was giving him CPR, trying to look up an ambulance in a phone book while I was giving my father CPR because there was no 911. I was blessed to be able to be part of 911 inception in Austin town. So, we have taken and given $500,000 to create grant opportunities to have people become firemen, EMTs, paramedics, firemen. We put $500,000 into that fund for the sheriff's department. This is solidified. 10 years ago, when this board formed, the deputy sheriffs were at half benefits, half. They were paying more. They were taking cuts in everything they had to keep the jail open, to keep the funds to keep the jail Sullivan. The commissioners were doing everything they could. And then not until the justice tax came were they fully funded. And we had an opportunity to protect Mahoning County better. And the sheriff's department, Sheriff Green, and every one of his staff does an amazing job, amazing. And they work so hard on behalf of us. It would be a sin to God for us not to embrace this renewal. And it would be, and it is a travesty for people to use it as a political tool when they have no platform. To drag this in and make it political is unconscionable, unconscionable. So I have a copy of a lot of these to show you everything and every penny where it goes to. We pass them out at the public hearings that we have for the justice tax. We will be passing them out again tonight at the public hearing, 5:30, McMahon Hall in Canfield. So that's my birthday wish today, that everybody, embraces the justice tax and appreciates the amazing job that public service, public safety does, both police and fire. We don't have a county fire department, but the EMT, the paramedics, all of them are all part of the same faction that we help fund and we do things for. The Bearcat we just came out with and funded, $300,000 for the sheriff's department. The shields, hasn't even been announced yet. The shields that we're working with Ed Villano and Sheriff Green to provide a shield for every political subdivision that has a school and could have an active shooter. So there's so many things that these ARPA funds help that we're able to provide that people don't know behind the scenes because, it's not a knee-jerk reaction. You can't get a knee-jerk reaction to good things, so, the things that are important kind of get brushed aside, but, we're trying to do what we can and Megan is helping us to make sure that we let people know what the message is. So that's my soapbox. I apologize and,
It's your birthday. You're up next.
Well,
Anthony, I'm sorry.
Great job, Dave. I want to wish you, first of all, a happy birthday and many, many more. One thing about Dave Ditzler, he's like fine wine. The older he gets better. And Dave, I just want to wish you many more birthdays. It's been a pleasure working with you here on the board. He's brought great knowledge to this institution, and we got to thank you for that. And also, I could not second more than what David just said because, matter of fact, when I became commissioner, I inherited a bankrupt county. We were $14 million in a hole, and we had to borrow $7.5 million on a sales tax anticipation note just to keep the jail out. Because prisoners were being let out, it became a media circus. Okay, the previous board did not have the temerity to get another sales tax passed and to get it put on. Because that was the political ploy back in the day. Oh, we'll just go to the ballot and repeal the sales tax. So let me tell you what, it is so crucial for us to have this funding source. And as Dave said, we only have so many dollars that we're allowed to keep here. We fund a very large criminal justice system. It eats up nearly over half of our funding. And the reason why we did the 0.25% sales tax is because the jail would have probably been in jeopardy of doing that all over again. I don't want to repeat a special master. I don't want to repeat inmates getting into jail, then they have to go back out on furlough and have them come in. I don't want to go to Judge Polster's courtroom up in Cleveland, be there by 9 o'clock, and if you're not on time, don't come back, and go to Akron every day. And we work very, very hard to get the stability of revenues back in the county. So if you pull the sales tax, that's going to be, to me, the most important issue on the ballot next year is getting this justice tax because, Sheriff Green says it eloquently. Come tonight, listen to the presentation from the prosecutor and the sheriff. You have to have a place to lock up bad people. It's unfortunate. Society's out of control today. And the criminal justice system is what makes this community safe. It's what makes people want to put their kids in schools. here in Mahoning County. The stability of county government is why people want to come here. If you don't have those rudiments here, people don't want to come to your county. So I believe as a board, we have done very, very good and hard work with our staff that we have here, working with everybody, all the office holders. And we got to thank the voters because they're the ones that walk in the booth and vote for that. And they have to have a reason to vote to support, to give their government officials the money. And I believe this board has done that, and I feel confident that this will pass. But if you really want to hear it, come tonight if you can and listen to Sheriff Green in the presentations that they'll be given why this sales tax, justice tax is so important for Mahoning County. That being said, happy
Thank you.
birthday,
Thank you,
Dave.
buddy.
Many
Appreciate
more,
it.
many more.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well, I think my two partners have said everything that needs to be said about sales tax and helping the community through the ARPA funds. I agree with everything that you've said. I also believe that the residents of Mahoning County look beyond the political structure that some are in right now to know that their government has been very good to them and to their communities. And I think they're smart enough to know that they like safety, whether it be the fire or the police. And our sheriff is probably one of the better sheriffs, best sheriffs we've had. He is so proactive on everything he does in every township, every village, the cities, even he helps Youngstown a lot. I know that as well. And I believe that our people in Mahoning County are going to show everyone what it's about because they're going to be this ballot issue. And I'll put my money on this. This ballot issue in Mahoning County will probably be the largest vote count in the election coming up. And why do I say that? Because Jerry Green is there. He's out there. Our prosecutor's office is out there. Dr. Kennedy's out there. Everything that belongs to this justice tax are things that we've been on the road with as three commissioners who spearheaded all of these things that you see in play right now. We've spearheaded this with our prosecutor's office, our administrator, our OMB directors, and all of our directors. This is not a one-person issue. This is all of us. So when people use that, wrong, because who are you hurting? You're not hurting us, but you're also hurting yourselves and your families. So I think our people are smart enough to know that. And I think we're in a different generation today. And I do believe that. I do believe our people are going to see through all of the craziness that's out there. I mean, and I'm very confident of that. So my 2 cents worth for the day.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again for all the kind birthday wishes. Audrey, you good?
No, I just asked everyone to come out tonight for the presentations and things that are there. This justice tax is very important to Mahoning County government. It's important to the justice system as a whole. The justice system is not only made up of these offices, but the other portion of it is in the general fund, which also takes up a good portion of general fund budgets. And so basically the full justice system between those two funds is about 74% of the combined budget. And so it is imperative that it is passed because the impact is not only on these offices, it's on the whole
County.
court system and everything else.
It's not a political issue.
Thank you.
Just remember that.
All right. Well, thank you, Austin Town, for being here. Appreciate it. And
Thank you.
all right, Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a great one. I have about 5 Christmas ties. I get to wear one every week, for at least a month. So anyway, I save my Scrooge for last. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.